So this is the residence of Srila Sarvabhauma Pandit. As you know, Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma Pandit had their so much interaction. They will misunderstand. So, as you all know, that actual story. Sarvabhauma Pandit first came across Mahaprabhu inside Jagannath temple. Jagannath temple, and Mahaprabhu, overwhelmed with intense love of Jagannath Deva, straightly entered the main temple room there, and then as soon as embraced Lord Jagannath deity, he lost external sense, fell unconscious, overwhelmed the intense love of Lord Jagannath. But according to the rule of Puri temple, if anyone just enters the temple room, except for pujari, except for those who are qualified priests to be inside the temple room, anyone else from outside, even sannyasi, enters the main temple room all of a sudden, then it's breaking their formal system and rule, and the pandas becomes very rude, become angry and rude. So at that time also some of the pandas who could not know about Mahaprabhu in reality, could not recognize who was he. In fact, so they were almost about to beat Mahaprabhu, who lost external sense and lying on the ground of the temple floor just lying. So almost about to beat Mahaprabhu, then Sarvabhauma Pandit was around, caught his attention, caught his sight, and he immediately came running to protect Mahaprabhu, who was externally unconscious. Protect Mahaprabhu. He almost fell on Mahaprabhu's divine form and tried to protect Mahaprabhu's form from the beating of pandas. So thus he protected Mahaprabhu, and immediately he checked those pandas from such rude activities, unkind activity, saying, "You all don't understand. He's a transcendental sannyasi. Can't you see? Can't you understand? You are also kind of so gross, so crude type. You do not have that common sense intelligence. So why are you trying to beat a sannyasi, fell unconscious on the ground? Don't you understand the transcendental love symptoms? Don't you see the 8 kinds of transcendental love symptoms all over this divine form of the sannyasi? So, how could you be so unkind, rude, unkind? Stop there." So, because Sarvabhauma Pandit got special power, special command over the temple management and also over the Puri administration, being closely connected with King Prataparudra, also because of his own high-class position, famous position of becoming the professor, being the professor of the professors of that time. He was a very well-known, erudite scholar, the person of very high position, and so had great command over the Puri administration and Jagannath temple administration. So, as soon as he prohibited those pandas had to listen to him. Otherwise, they would be in trouble. Otherwise, they were going to be in trouble if they did not listen to obey the order of Sarvabhauma Pandit. So then immediately pandas stopped, or Sarvabhauma Pandit stopped the pandas, and then at some point he managed to arrange few more devotees and even devotees and some devotees of Jagannath temple and his own associates, and managed to carry Mahaprabhu, unconscious form of Mahaprabhu, all the way from Jagannath temple over here in his residence. And Kaviraj Goswami described Mahaprabhu had huge body, tall figure, beautiful tall figure, big body, and not only few persons could carry. There were at least 8, 9, or 10 people carrying Mahaprabhu from Puri to here while he was unconscious. Thus Mahaprabhu gave them service. Thus Mahaprabhu blessed those devotees with some special services, scope of service to be carried by them, of them to carry here. Okay. So then, after bringing Mahaprabhu over here at some point, Mahaprabhu came back to external consciousness and external sense, and then Sarvabhauma Pandit began to ask about Mahaprabhu, about the identity of Mahaprabhu, because he never saw such a beautiful, handsome, wonderful sannyasi, some bright, effulgent sannyasi before. So it was his unprecedented experience. Never saw before such wonderful, bright, self-effulgent sannyasi. So Sarvabhauma Pandit could understand by his common intelligence, by his common perception, this is no ordinary sannyasi. Then once Mahaprabhu came back to consciousness, external sense, then they had conversation. The conversation between them started. Then Sarvabhauma Pandit came to know about everything of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Not everything yet, but in general he came to know about Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu's family identity, family acquaintance, where from he is, what he is, in some way. But till then, he could not really understand the real nature of this beautiful sannyasi. He still had to wait for a while before knowing Mahaprabhu actually, realistically. Who he is actually. So this Leela took place over here. Then, so after that Leela, the first meeting between Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma Pandit in Jagannath temple, and thereafter they are living together over here for a while, engaged in scholarly, highly intellectual, philosophical conversations. spending some specific time, special time periods over here, reciprocation between the Supreme Lord and His eternal devotee Sarvabhauma Pandit. And then thereafter Mahaprabhu came here many times, in this residence of Sarvabhauma Pandit. He used to come here off and on, to this residence thereafter. But during the time of their first meeting, Mahaprabhu stayed here, lived here for few days, for quite few days over here, engaged in scholarly philosophical conversation, Sarvabhauma Pandit, and accepting his taking care of Mahaprabhu, kindly, lovingly accepting his spirit of taking care of Mahaprabhu in this way, because he so nicely took care of Mahaprabhu, starting from Jagannath temple up to here, and thereafter also took care of him very nicely. Although in the beginning he was differing from Mahaprabhu by nature of their philosophical opinions, philosophical views, but after all the doubts of Sarvabhauma Pandit about Mahaprabhu was cleared, totally cleared, after he came to know about the real Mahaprabhu, real nature of Mahaprabhu, this wonderful, beautiful, handsome sannyasi, then he fell flat to his lotus feet, spirit of devotional surrender, and with the spirit of pure devotional surrender, and took full shelter at the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu, under this accepted full shelter under Sriman Mahaprabhu, and dedicated his rest portion of lifetime in the devotional service of this wonderful Lord Chaitanya. And you know what I could not complete last night because of the time pressure. Let me expand that. Let me give some more illumination, with extended manner, a little extended manner, I mean, that after Sarvabhauma Pandit became transformed into the pure devotee, devoted servitor of Mahaprabhu, Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, thereafter he began to write beautiful hymns, beautiful, very most wonderful, sweet, beautiful, stotram, lyrics, poetries, Sanskrit poetries one after another about Lord Chaitanya. Nobody could believe him. It was that Sarvabhauma Pandit, who was relating to Mahaprabhu in the beginning, is the same person of that temperament, and now it's the same personality of this temperament. Today, pure devotional mood, pure devotional spirit, totally surrendered the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, became such a devoted lover, devoted servitor of Lord Chaitanya. Such a great change, wonderful change in Sarvabhauma Pandit. So thereafter, one after another, he started writing poetries, wonderful poetries, describing the glories of his beloved Lord Chaitanya. They are very wonderful, beautiful poetries. I'm sure some of you know about those beautiful poetries. Ujjala Bharana Gaurabhara Deham Vilasat Nirabadhi Bhava Videham Tribhuvana Tarana Kripaya Lisham Tanga Brahmani Cha Sri Sachitanayam Gade Gadayantar Bhava Vikara Durjana Tarjan Nada Vishara Gatiyati Mantara Nitya Vilas Pranamami Cha Sri Sachitanayam. In this way. Then Nava Gaurabaram Nava Pushpasaram Namahima Bharam Nabharadharam. Beautiful poetries. Nava Gaurabaram Nava Pushpasaram. And others also wrote from Pranam Mantra from Mahaprabhu. Beautiful Pranam Mantra. Such as Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shiksharthamika Purushattudana Sri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripam Buddhirjastamaham Prakati Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shiksharthamika Purushattudana Sri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripam Buddhirjastamaham Prakati Kalan Ashtanga Bhakti Yogam Nijam Nija Pradushkartum Krishna Chaitanya Nam Avirbhutastasya Padarabinde Avirbhutastasya Padarabinde Karam Garam Liyatang Chitta Bhinga Garam Garam Liyatang Chitta Bhinga. In this way. So, thereafter, he was so ecstatically absorbed, he was so blissfully absorbed in praising his beloved Lord Gauranga, Lord Chaitanya, in so many ways. He used to be discovering newer and newer ways of glorifying beloved Lord Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thereafter. And then he became such a great asset, most valuable asset, okay, and kind of guardian also in relation to many of Mahaprabhu's associates, devotees coming from Gauradesh or Navadvip Dham to the Puri. Sarvabhauma Pandit, Kashi Mishra, then King Prataprudra Maharaj, Raya Ramananda Prabhu, and they all used to take care of the most respectable guests of Mahaprabhu's beloved associates coming from Gauradesha, Navadvip Dham to Puri. So they used to be hosting them, taking care of them all so nicely. When Mahaprabhu used to be here in the residence of Sarvabhauma Pandit, all those associates, all those Mahaprabhu's Parshada devotees used to also come over here to be with Mahaprabhu, have darshan of Mahaprabhu. So there was so much flow of the nectarian Krishna Katha in this place, so much nectarian flow of nectar flow of the nectarine Krishna Katha flowed from this place, all over. Mostly devotees would gather here, have darshan of their Prabhu, Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and hear from his lotus leaves nectar of Krishna Katha, nectarine Krishna Katha. Sarvabhauma Pandit used to be one of the foremost devotees in that audience of hearing from Mahaprabhu, imbibing, drinking the nectar of the beautiful form of Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu's bhava, mood of Mahaprabhu, and Krishna Katha from Mahaprabhu. And also, besides that, they used to be engaged in wonderful ecstatic Krishna Sankirtanam, singing many devotional songs of Srimati Radhika and Krishna. All the devotees over here had wonderful ecstatic times in the association of their beloved Lord Mahaprabhu, accompanied by Sarvabhauma Pandit, hosted by Sarvabhauma Pandit. And you know, Sarvabhauma Pandit, Raya, Ramananda had very intimate relationship. So, they used to inspire each other about Mahaprabhu. Sometimes Sarvabhauma Pandit, they were great shakhas, they were great bosom friends, intimate friends. See? And they used to be inspiring each other through their Krishna Katha, through their Lord Chaitanya Katha. Okay. And it was Sarvabhauma Pandit, okay, spoke to Mahaprabhu so much about Raya Ramananda in the beginning. Mahaprabhu was Antarjami, he was omniscient, all-knower, but still it was a part of his Leela that he made Sarvabhauma Pandit to speak to him about Raya Ramananda. So inspired by Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma Pandit spoke to Mahaprabhu to meet Raya Ramananda, to meet with Raya Ramananda and be engaged in tasting the nectar of Krishna Katha with Raya Ramananda. And Mahaprabhu lovingly accepted that proposal. Sarvabhauma Pandit, he already knew who is Raya Ramananda, one of his foremost eternal associates. But still, that was Mahaprabhu's Leela. Mahaprabhu in some way inspired Sarvabhauma to speak to him about Raya Ramananda. And thereafter, Mahaprabhu met with Raya Ramananda in the South India, Godavari. On the banks of Godavari, Mahaprabhu Raya Ramananda had the first meeting and sitting there. And Raya Ramananda Sangvada, Raya Ramananda Sangvada manifested over there. One of the invaluable treasures in our lives, in the lives of Krishna devotees. So Sarvabhauma Pandit already was very intimately connected. Sarvabhauma Pandit was intimately connected, intimately known to Raya Ramananda from the beginning. But because he was influenced by Shankara school of philosophy, Advaita Vedanta, Raya Ramananda was pure Krishna devotee, pure devotee of Krishna. Okay, Raya Ramananda was the great propagator and propounder of the Gauriya Vaishnava philosophy, Gauriya Vaishnava Darshana. personal character, personal relationship with the Lord. No impersonalism. Worshipping, relating to Bhagavan Krishna, or in an intimate, personal way, with personal, devotional relationship of personal loving service to Lord. So, that Sarvabhauma Pandit was in different temperament at that time. Then he later on told Mahaprabhu, spoke to Mahaprabhu, I didn't understand Ramananda at that time properly, Prabhu. Today I feel sorry. Today I feel sad that when Rai Ramananda is trying to tell me, explain to me so much about Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prema, with the Sambandha Gyan of personal character, personal devotional, personal love relationship with the Supreme Lord, serving with personal love relation with the Supreme Lord. Oh, he tried to explain to me, make me understand. It was unfortunate for me. I didn't understand him properly during that time. But today I fully understand what Rai Ramananda trying to tell me, trying to explain to me. Also Gopinathacharya trying to explain to me. So today I fully understand them by your grace, by your mercy. So Mahaprabhu, so, oh Lord, you must meet Rai Ramananda. He is very, very befitting for your association. He is so much befitting to your taste, to your personality. So, my Lord, please meet him, Rai Ramananda. You'll be really enjoying. He'll be really enjoying his association, his pure devotional association. Okay. I'm sure you'll have nectar taste in his association. Krishna Mahaprabhu smiled at Sarvabhauma Pandit and fully accepted his proposal. At one point, Mahaprabhu plans such a way, also inspired Rai Ramananda Prabhu in such a way so that when Mahaprabhu was out for having the darshan of the pilgrimage places in South India, he was in pilgrimage tour there. So he so inspired Rai Ramananda that when he was in Godavari, Rai Ramananda was also in Kabur, Godavari there. Because Rai Ramananda was a very powerful governor of that time. He was not any ordinary person, as you all know. He was the powerful governor of Orissa, almost next in command after King Prataparudra. He was in command next to the king of Orissa, Prataparudra. Very powerful, politically, very powerful person. Inwardly, great, exalted devotee of Radha Krishna. Internally being Vishakha Sakhi, eternally in Braja Leela, Rai Ramananda Prabhu, or Vishakha Sakhi was none other than eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya, Radha Krishna. So externally he was very, very politically powerful person. So he was there in that part, Kabul, Godavari, nearby Godavari, with all army, all the Brahmanas, and big army, police and army and all with him. But that such description is given in Chaitanya Chaitanya. Anyway, at some point, when he from a distance, when he found a beautiful, wonderful, effulgent sannyasi sitting on the banks of Godavari river while Raya Ramananda was coming to bathe in the river of Godavari. From the distance, it caught his attention, heart's attention towards that wonderful sannyasi, most beautiful and looking so effulgent. Raya Ramananda was seeing it for the first time, having such experience for the first time in his life. His heart was irresistibly attracted to that beautiful, effulgent sannyasi, most divinely effulgent sannyasi. And then at some point, he came quickly and paid full obeisance to that wonderful sannyasi, Lord Chaitanya. At one point, one most precious moment, one priceless moment, fortune-giving moment, Raya Ramananda Samvada started. Conversation between Lord Chaitanya and Raya Ramananda started there. Nectar, transcendental nectar of Radha Krishna Katha started flowing, springing up, upsurging therefrom, from there, on the banks of Godavari. Their katha mostly used to take place during the evening time. Sometimes during daytime, but mostly in the evening, early evening time. So, back to the point with regard to Sarvabhauma Pandit. In relation to Raya Ramananda, they are actually very acquainted with each other, familiar with each other. They are bosom friends. One was, Sarvabhauma Pandit was the great scholar, professor of the professors. On the other hand, Raya Ramananda was great, powerful political personality, powerful governor of the Orissa. Okay. So much. And King Prataparudra had so much trust and faith in Raya Ramananda to run his kingdom very nicely, very efficiently. And King Prataparudra also knew about Raya Ramananda. Inwardly, he was an exalted devotee of Radha Krishna. So what happened at some point, when during one occasion of Jalokeli water sports, now Raya Ramananda and Sarvabhauma Pandit both started bathing in the Kunda, Sarovara, and they happily started water sports, throwing water towards each other like a child. Okay, they apparently lost their grave, powerful image of high-class personality, and became childlike during their water sports. And standing on the banks of that Sarovara, that lake, Mahaprabhu was telling his devotee, was telling his associate, try to check them. Try to check them. They are looking like child. If other people see them in this condition, in this kind of situation, what they will think about them, how they will think about them. Two great, powerful personalities now appearing like childlike in water sports. So became so simple. So Mahaprabhu was jokingly he was jokingly making this remark about both of them. Raya Ramananda, Sarvabhauma Pandit, throwing water towards each other, on each other, completely childlike way. And Mahaprabhu was really enjoying that scene, standing on the banks of the lake. Narendra Sarovar, most probably, yes. Most probably I have to find out, I have to remember. Most probably Narendra Sarovar. Mahaprabhu was enjoying that beautiful scene and sight. Two high-class, great, powerful personalities now become childlike. All the devotee associates of Mahaprabhu are also enjoying it greatly. Okay, so much more to speak about, but we have to move. I humbly remain here for now. जय श्री सार्वभौम पंडित की जय, भगवान कृष्ण चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय, जय भगवान गौर हरि कृष्ण चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय, सपार्षद भगवान गौर हरि की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय, कृष्ण कथा महोत्सव की जय। गौतम